This is Game Night Live. WJBF Sports presents local high school football live in your living room on Friday night. Game Night Live is powered by McDonald's, I'm loving it, and University Healthcare System. Insist on the best. Insist on University. And now, your hosts, Ashley Brown and Matt Lane.
All right, folks, welcome in. It is time for another edition of WJBF Sports Game Night Live. We are at one of the great places to watch high school football in the entire state of Georgia. We are at Buddy Bufford Field, Larry Campbell Stadium, the home of the Lincoln County Red Devils for the 79th meeting between Lincoln County and Washington-Wilkes. I'm Ashley Brown. We've got the entire WJBF crew, including my partner Matt Lane. And Matt, this is a big-time rivalry, the Highway 378 war. These two teams just plain don't like each other. That's what they say, and this is such a big game year in and year out.
Yeah, one of the great rivalries here in our local area, one of the hardest places to get a parking spot as well, and just so much history, not only between both these teams just individually, but really together in this rivalry, just a lot of history in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Between the two schools, how about 60 region titles, 18 state titles, and almost 1,400 wins between the two. Tonight, let's take a look at the keys. Lincoln County comes in at 2-1-1. Washington-Wilkes is at 4-1. You got to get off to a quick start in a hostile environment if you're Washington-Wilkes and crowd that box and make Lincoln County beat you through the air. Now, for Lincoln County on the flip side, protect the ball. If they protect the ball and play their game, they should be able to win the football game. They've also got to get the ball to their several number of playmakers. They've got about 3 or 4. Get the ball to them in space, let them make plays. If they do that tonight, Lincoln County will come away with a W. And we are set for just an absolute great game. Perfect night for football. There you see the Lincoln County captains tonight. You've got number 8, Xavier Gartrell, number 34, Keyshawn Martin, and number 50, Jackson Wheeler. The captains tonight for Washington-Wilkes are number 3, Hunter Brock, number 7, Quintavion Cullors, and also you've got Quindatius Hogan, number 22. Those are the captains for Washington-Wilkes. We're almost set for the coin toss here. We've got a special treat tonight, too. Very famous face, voice, and name in the CSRA. Filling in for Drew Harrell down on the sidelines, we got Pete Mitchenfelder, who we'll be checking in with tonight on our sideline reports. So right now, let's go down to the field. It's time for our Academy Sports coin toss.
Okay, guys, shake hands. Okay, guys, you being the captains, your team, what we need your help with is sportsmanship, okay? That's very important, so y'all help us with that, okay? All right, white division team, you're going to call a toss for me. You're going to call it loud enough so that the umpire hears you. And if I drop it, we'll toss it again, okay? All right, here's what we're going to use. All right, that's heads, that's tails, that's tails, that's heads, okay? Or what you want to call? Tail. He called tail. Okay, that is heads, okay? Red, you have one to toss. You'd like to defer your choice, okay. All right, Red, one to toss. They will defer their choice the second half. Okay, guys? Y'all want the football. If you don't, you'll be kicking out both halves, okay? All right, guys, which way y'all want, which goal y'all want to defend? You want to kick the ball that way? Okay, all right. Y'all put your backs to the scoreboard for me, please, guys. Y'all come over here. All right, White will be receiving. Okay, guys, y'all be kicking at 2 o'clock, okay? Y'all come in, shake hands, let's have a good ball game.
All right, there it is, folks. The coin toss is done. We are just about set for kickoff. We're going to take a quick timeout, and when we come back, it'll be the Lincoln County Red Devils playing host to their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes. It's WJBF Sports Game Night Live. And we are back at Lincoln County High School, just about set for kickoff tonight, as the Red Devils take on their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes. The 79th meeting between the two programs, and it is super tight in the history of these two. In the 78 times they have played, Lincoln County does lead, but it's barely 37, 35, and 6, the overall record. It is William Leroy to kick it off for Lincoln County, and back deep is number 22, Quindatius Hogan is the deep man. It's going to be fielded by one of the up players, though. That is number 4, and that is Wellborn, and Wellborn is brought down after a short return. So good field position for Washington-Wilkes to start. And Matt, I think it's very important for this Washington-Wilkes team to get off to a good start. They're playing on the road, a pretty good opponent. They're 0-4. They've had a tough time scoring points this year, outscored 107-13 so far. They need a quick start.
Oh, they certainly need to get points on the board because we know what the Red Devils are going to do. They're going to obviously try and get a touchdown, and then they're going to run the football. So they're going to try to get a few scores and then shorten this game as much as possible. We've all seen it throughout the years, running the ball so well in between the tackles and then getting that speed on the perimeter and getting those extra scores, and that's when they really started running up the score over a lot of teams over the years.
All right, so here we go. The quarterback is Colors. He is in a shotgun, and most schools do that now, the spread offense, and nowhere to run. We might have had our Augusta Payne Center hit of the game on the very first play of the game, number 9 for Lincoln County, coming in and laying the lumber. He is in a shotgun, and
great hit there from Jaden Robinson. You watch him right there, just
nowhere to run. We might have had
give him a nice pop in between the tackles there for a big hit.
Good-looking athlete there, Jayden Robinson, just a junior. So Washington-Wilkes there in white on offense and trimmed in blue and yellow. Lincoln County in all red and white. And a handoff again up the middle. A little more running room this time. Another big hit. Whoa, man, some hitting going on already in this one. Number 24, that's Quindarius Wright, a junior, who came over and made a big hit.
Yeah, pick up the first down there. Great hit, but a lot of yardage here for Washington-Wilkes. Some good blocking up front.
Handoff again up the middle. A little more running room this time. Another big
He hit him into another Lincoln County player who maybe took the worst
going on already.
But it's a nice first down for Washington-Wilkes. Good start for the Tigers here. These two teams first met way back in 1922. And Color's going to hand it off again, and here comes Hogan. Hogan around the corner. Hogan with a head of steam. He might be gone. Hogan inside the 20 to the 10. It's a touchdown. Are you kidding me? 55 yards, Quindatius Hogan. Quindatius Hogan goes 55 yards on the third play.
And you see right here, the safety almost tried to give him a pop with his shoulder pads instead of just trying to tackle. Not exactly sure what he was trying to do, but a complete whiff of a tackle, and that's what led to getting to the end zone.
Good look on our University Healthcare Instant Replay. Now it's time for our Georgia Military College Kicks for College competition. We have every kick made, field goal, and extra point. Money is donated to a worthwhile Georgia Military College student. And that kick is good. It's 7-0. A stunned Lincoln County fan base now after the Tigers, who have struggled to score all year, take little time and score. We'll take a break. Back to Lincolnton, Georgia, with Washington-Wilkes up 7-0 in just a moment. We are back in Lincolnton here at Larry Campbell Stadium, Buddy Buffert Field, as the Lincoln County Red Devils trail their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes by a score of 7-0. Quindarius Wright is back deep to receive the kick, but again, it's going to be a short one and there's a big hit. Wow. That was Gartrell, but he took a shot from number 34 for Washington-Wilkes that time. That is the Laverian Kendricks, so Kendricks with a big hit. Let's real quick go down to the field. I believe we've got an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Pete Mitchenfelder. Pete?
AB and Matt, you said that Washington-Wilkes had to start off strong, and they certainly did that. These guys are really hitting on the lines, but if you look behind me, the stands here for Washington-Wilkes is full of gold and blue. They're starting off strong. Back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. Absolutely, and that certainly was a key. Anytime you're playing on the road, especially when you may be the underdog, you want to get off to a good start, but they didn't look like the underdog on that series, Matt.
Absolutely not. If you're able to quiet the fans, you know, it's not just the fans in the stands here. They completely surround the field, just hanging around the fence. When you're able to quieten them down a little bit and throw some points on the board early, again, that puts all the pressure on the Red Devils.
And they're going to throw it. Oh, and it's picked. Oh, it was almost 6 points. Great read on the play by the defensive back. Are you kidding? Ooh, Hogan almost had it. Look at this. This would have been 6. It was right in his hands, and he couldn't hang on. That was a terrific read, though, there, Matt.
Yeah, great read. That could have completely changed the dynamic of the game. Again, thinking the Red Devils really coming in strong in this game, but to be behind 14, really getting extremely lucky that he dropped the ball there.
Javon Reed, the quarterback for Lincoln County, is going to keep it himself this time, and nowhere to go, and a nice play. And I tell you, Washington-Wilkes has come in fired up tonight.
Chris Crew made a terrific play as you see him get off his block here on the outside of your screen, shrug off a couple blocks, and make the sure tackle. Again, Lincoln County, they're going back to the running game, trying to get the ball out of the air, but so far, Washington-Wilkes really starting this game off strong, not only on offense, but so far on defense as well.
Well, they're 0-4, but they have played a tough schedule, and boy, they have come to play tonight. So here we go, Lincoln County, and they fake the handoff, and the pass is complete, and it's going to be a nice pickup, and still on his feet. Great play by the receiver for Lincoln County. That is Gartrell. So Zay Gartrell gets Lincoln County the first down. Great fake by Reed in the backfield. That's what you're getting when you got this kid who's been playing since his freshman year a little bit.
Yeah, pulls the ball and throws a strike to the outside, and that's when they're really dangerous. Because they've always been able to run the ball well. Yeah, really physical running by the receivers on the outside. But when they're able to pass the ball, that's when they're really dangerous because we know they can run it.
Gartrell with a big stiff arm on Hogan. So here they go, right up the middle. Lincoln County, a little bit of power football there. And they're going to pick up about 3 or 4. On the carry for the Red Devils was Hartfield. And Quay Hartfield, he's an exciting player. Don't let the size fool you. Maybe the most talented back on this team, and they've got a number of good ones. Hartfield, though, likely to be the main ball carrier tonight. And they do fake it again, and boy, look at this Reed. These fakes by Reed are outstanding. I mean, that's 2 tonight where I just was completely fooled, and I'm sure the defense was a little as well.
Yeah, snatches it around. Again, makes it really hard to see exactly who has it.
It's going to set up third and 2.
Yeah, and able to pass the ball effectively enough that, again, you have to guard the inside and the outside.
So 3rd down and 2. The ball is at the 38. Javon Reed is the quarterback. Reed faked it to Hartfield. He keeps it. He's got a blocker. He cuts it up. Here goes Reed. It's a touchdown. Lincoln County matches Washington-Wilkes score, but there is there a flag? No, there's nothing on the field. 38 yards. It's Reed for the touchdown. And again, it's those fakes, Matt.
Yeah, right here, a good pull. Looked like he certainly handed it off to the running back, but pulled it. All the Washington-Wilkes defenders were on the inside, and he, a great-looking runner, as well as a thrower. Great touchdown there for Lincoln County to get it squared up right here after the kick.
So here's again our Georgia Military College kicks for college. For every extra point and field goal made this year, a lucky Georgia Military College student will receive a scholarship and some scholarship money, and the kick is good. So Lincoln County, Matt, just marched right down the field. I'm telling you, the fakes from Reed are the key. It opened up a big pass play. It opened up a couple of nice runs.
Oh, a terrific player, and just think of how much was avoided as we see that touchdown one more time. And look at how well he runs. Switches the ball to the inside, gets it away from the tacklers, and he then just outruns everybody. But just think of how much different that drive could have gone if he throws that pick six and they're down 14. Again, as exciting as an offense you are, that's tough to do.
Here's the Washington-Wilkes offense. Colors, the quarterback. He's wearing number 1 tonight. There was some uniform changes. And Hogan, 22. Those are the key guys. And then up front, they've got some big fellas up there, led by the big fella in the middle, Bailey Brock. And then on defense for Lincoln County, they've got a freshman in there, Le'Veon Lockhart. And it's a short kick to about the 25. And fielded by one of that man. He bobbled the football, but then caught it. And he's still running with it. Are you kidding? And he fumbled it again. And it looked like he wasn't running fast, but he was pulling away from everybody. What a wild play. Number 9, Raekwon Benz. Watch this. On the replay, Benz fumbled it, got it back. Now here, it doesn't look like he's really running fast, but he ran away from the defenders. And here he bobbles it again. I think maybe a Lincoln County player. No one touched it.
No, another.
Luckily for Benz, Johnny on the spot, I think it was 21 for Washington-Wilkes Wiggs that recovered it. What a wild play.
To fumble the ball and recover it one time on a run.
In a game to do it twice
is
is
crazy.
crazy. Do it on one play.
Yeah, to do it twice is something that I don't think we've seen. We've not ever seen that.
We've already had a game full of highlights, and we're barely started here as Hogan carries it. Man. Unbelievable start to this one. We didn't expect necessarily a track meet here as Washington-Wilkes is in the John Harris Body Shop's red zone.
Well, especially with Washington-Wilkes spending this much time down on the Red Devil side of the field. Again, a lot of folks thinking that maybe Lincoln County was going to really handle this one, and so far Washington-Wilkes really playing well to start this game.
And this time up the middle. And Washington-Wilkes, they do not look like an 0-4 team, that's for sure. The big fella's up front. So third down for the Washington-Wilkes squad here. Ashley Brown, Matt Lane, Nathan Edwards, and Pete Mitchenfelder and the entire WJBF Sports crew. And again, they go to Hogan. He's the workhorse, and Hogan is stuffed. It's going to set up fourth down here.
Looked like he might have had a lane if he went to the left a little bit.
Nope,
but
fourth down.
Got tangled up with all the big bodies there on the inside.
Good job up front. As a matter of fact, that might have been the freshman Lockhart, Le'Veon Lockhart, leading the charge there. Both these teams with relatively, kind of like last week, relatively new coaches. One of them, they're both replacing good coaches. One of those replacing a legend. Kevin Banks in his third year at Lincoln County, 1871, and Jacob Kelly in his second year. It's fourth down. Here we go. Colors going to keep it. Colors is hit, but he's got the first down. So Colors has the first down. So it'll be first down and goal to go for the Tigers, Matt.
Yeah, big play. Again, 4th and 1. Electing to go for it and gets it comfortably.
Good
blocking
blocking
in there.
Yeah, good blocking that time by the Tigers up front to churn out that hard yardage there. So they're down to the 2-yard line, first and goal to go.
And we'll see if they continue to try to run it right up the middle. Looks like they are. They got some big bodies in the backfield. Might try to go with Hogan here.
And they do. Hogan following his blockers into the end zone. His second touchdown of the night. And, folks, if they get the extra point, they will have more points in the first about 6.5 minutes of this game than they have had all season. They had 13 coming in. They've got 13 right now. And Hogan has both touchdowns, a 55-yarder and a 2-yarder.
And just looking like a completely different team than we've seen so far this year for the Tigers.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. That is Holiday with the kick. So
just like that, a season record.
Washington-Wilkes
looks great.
Getting it done.
Again, not only getting in the end zone, but playing very aggressive. And again, finding a way to, because even that big play they almost had getting the pick six, sometimes that can be a little debilitating. but able to storm back on offense and get another 7.
While they're lining up for the kickoff, let's go down to the field for another check-in. Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Pete Nitzenfelder.
Like you guys said, a lot of highlights so far. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. You can't ask for anything more when it comes to the war of Highway 378. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. That's right. Again, they met first in 1922. They've actually played in a state title game against one another back in 2005. And they also both won state titles in 1960. They met in the regular season that year. Lincoln County won the game, but again, they both went on to win state championships, of course, back then being in different classifications. Now they're in the same region. And another short high kick, little pooch kick. And it's fumbled. Uh-oh, I think Washington-Wilkes has got it. Lincoln County, disaster for the Lincoln County Red Devils to start this game. Number 23, Jaquavius Cox comes away with it.
And I pointed at the screen right when it was kicked at how much loft it had. And again, those are sure catches that have to be made because, again, the kickoff team is already down there. So if you don't catch it, you really almost have no shot of even retrieving it at that point because you got the kickoff team running straight at you. Again, one of them is going to hit you, the other one's going to recover it, and that's exactly what they did.
Zaire Hogan, the man who almost had the interception earlier, is the man who laid the hit to spring that ball and make it loose because the return man might get it. Here comes Colors, keeping it himself. And I'm telling you, they continue to look good, this Washington-Wilkes team.
They do that time. Tadarius Elam for Lincoln County really saving a touchdown saving tackle there because it looked like he could have squirted out of there and gotten another one if Elam doesn't make that touchdown or doesn't make that tackle.
So the Washington-Wilkes squad coming out ready to play. Colors hands it to Hogan. Oh, and he's hit immediately. Big defensive play that time for the Red Devils.
And I want to remind you, Game Night Live is presented each and every week by McDonald's. $1 every size is back at McDonald's. Grab any size coffee, Dr. Pepper, your favorite soft drink for just $1. Always convenient, always just $1. A la carte only. Price and participation may vary. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
That's right, McDonald's, University Healthcare Systems, 2 of our main sponsors. We got great support in the community. Wouldn't be able to be here without it. And we certainly appreciate it.
And big third down here, 4 yards to go.
Colors looking to throw. Yeah, he zipped it in there, but it's incomplete. Nice job on the coverage by the Red Devils. That might have been Gartrell. So, 4th down here.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
Lincoln County, if they can stop them here, dodging a big bullet. I mean, you can't go down 21-7, can you? All right, Matt, it's 4th down here. The Ken Nugent 1 call, that's all. What would you do if you're Washington-Wilkes here on 4th and 7? I mean, trying to continue this great start.
I mean, you have to threaten with your quarterback, Colors, and then try to roll him out and see if anybody becomes open and see if anybody switches off to try to tackle Colors. And it looks like they want to think about it. They wanted to see what the Red Devils came out in.
Yeah, they did not like the look, or maybe they were trying to get a sneak peek. We'll take a break with them. A Napleton Infinity timeout on the field. Back to more WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Washington-Wilkes up 14-7 when we return. Back in Lincolnton, Georgia, it's WJBF Sports Game Night Live. The Red Devils of Lincoln County are down 14-7 here with 3:31 to go in the first to their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes. Another look at big defensive lineman who made a play a moment ago. That's Tyson Zellers. He also is a freshman. They've got some young guys on this defense that can play. So here we go, 4th down. Colors, and there was some movement up front. That's going to make it 4th and 12, unless it was on the defense.
False start. On the offense, be a 5-yard penalty. Replay
Great
4th
crowd
down.
tonight, and it's really, Matt, you mentioned this earlier, and I'm glad you did. It's really tough to gauge the crowd here because the stands are pretty full, but unlike any other field, the fans stand along the fence all the way around the field here to watch the game. They get here early to tailgate, and then they stand the whole game.
Well, with some views here, there's even some folks sitting in their cars watching the game from their cars because you can get just that close to the field.
Beautifully designed play for Washington-Wilkes that time on the screen. But it's going to be short. They got exactly what they wanted. The pressure came. Colors dumped it off to Hogan. Hogan had a blocker or two, and he almost spun his way loose, but he's going to be short of the first down. If they didn't have that false start, Matt, that's a first down.
Yeah, and they probably run the same play and probably pick up the first down. So right there, the first time that they get stopped so far in this game. And this will be the key defensive stand for them, again, with them kind of playing with house money to begin this game.
So the Red Devils' fumble on the kickoff earlier did not hurt them. Reed hands it off to Hartfield, and he's stuffed. Say it's some inspired football to start for the Tigers.
Yeah, the really impressive junior Chris Crew, another tackle again, really, and you can tell how tall he is, and he looks kind of slender, but a lot of times those are the harder defensive players to block because look how long his arms are. Again, you go to block him, and his arms are probably longer than yours, so he's able to get off your block fairly easy.
Well, and one thing Washington-Wilkes has always had, at least in the years we've been doing these football games, man, they are sure tacklers. So Reed hands it off. Hartfield trying to get to the corner, and he's going to be stopped short, so it's going to be 3rd and long.
Again, Washington-Wilkes, for the most part, doing a great job outside of a couple of big plays of running down the ball carriers if they're trying to run to the wide side of the field, not getting outran to the sideline and then letting them cut up.
I'll tell you one thing, on those fakes that are giving them so much trouble and that look so impressive from Reed, I think the red jerseys and the ball sort of blend a little bit together and makes it even tougher. Let's see what they do here on 3rd down and long. Reed's going to throw it. Lobs it up. Got coverage everywhere, and it's incomplete. Lincoln County wanted a flag. They do not get it.
And that's a really difficult play to complete. Again, you basically kind of put all your eggs in one basket, the roll out and to throw it to that's a long throw. And again, a good job of Washington-Wilkes of their defenders staying around.
Madarius Roberts is the man he was trying to get it to, number 1 on the right side of your screen. Another one of these good-looking athletes. Again, Lincoln County has some skill guys, but so far tonight, Washington-Wilkes getting it done. Got to give them credit. It's Trey Martin on to punt for the Red Devils. And Martin, going to be a short punt, but it does take a good Lincoln County bounce. And Washington-Wilkes will have pretty good field position here. The ball is right around the 37, 38-yard line. Well, the one thing, Matt, Lincoln County's defense is right back out on the field because of the 3 and out. They're logging a lot of minutes here in this first quarter.
They really are, because even, Washington-Wilkes has sort of driven the ball down the field, a 35-yard punt right there. But, yeah, Lincoln County's defense right back out there. And for Washington-Wilkes, the first time they weren't able to score a touchdown, but still some semblance of that momentum that they had to really start this game. They're still in the driver's seat with the lead.
Nothing really fancy on offense for Washington-Wilkes. They've been handing it to Hogan for the most part. He's got 2 touchdowns already. Man in motion as well, or check that. Might have been Wellborn. Let's see. They hand it to Hogan. Hogan along the left side. The man in motion was Brock. Nowhere to really run that time for Hogan. Last year, Lincoln County won this matchup 31-15, snapping a 3-game losing streak to Washington-Wilkes. Again, 37-35-2, the overall record. Or I say that. 37-35-6. 79th meeting between the two. Here comes Colors rolling out. He's in trouble, and he's going to be brought down.
Just multiple Red Devils able to bring him down in the backfield. Again, it could have been any of them.
Number 52 was one of the guys in there. That is Leverett.
That's almost where you're lucky enough to kind of just fall down and have another play because, again, so many hitters coming from so many different directions.
So it's Third down for the Tigers. Third down and about 14 or so. Colors fakes one way, throws a screen the other way, and it was covered nicely by Lincoln County.
Yeah, great heads-up play there by Antonio Williams, another junior for Lincoln County, really kind of seeing it out. They fake to the left, but you kind of watch it happen. And excuse me, check that. That's actually number 34 that ran back there, Keyshawn Martin, the senior, making the play. Even if he caught the ball, he was going to get tackled. So great heads-up play there.
Trying to go to sophomore DeAndre Lester. And nice kick here. Really good kick. It'll go all the way down inside the 25 to the 24. And that's where the Red Devils take back over here. Well, it looks like we'll have one more play before the end of the quarter. Let's go down to the man on the sidelines tonight, Pete Mitchenfelder.
You know, AB, you mentioned before that the series is 37, 35, and 6, so it's a typical Washington-Wilkes-Lincoln County game. But if you look at the scoreboard behind me, Washington-Wilkes has 14 points. They've only scored 13 points so far this year, so they're already ahead of themselves tonight. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. Absolutely, they have come in inspired. 43-yard punt there. And the ball handed off along the right side. That's Hartfield again. And that's the end of the first quarter. With a bit of a surprising score, Washington-Wilkes on top, 14-7, and they're playing good football right now, folks, no doubt about it. We'll take a timeout. It's Washington-Wilkes 14, Lincoln County 7 here on WJBF Game Night Live. Game Night Live, presented each week by University Healthcare System. University is the only area hospital rated an A for patient safety by the Leapfrog Group. University is also the only hospital in our region to be designated a magnet hospital for excellence in nursing. Insist on the best. Insist on University. And Lincoln County has the football here as we start the second quarter. First quarter stats, Matt, very, very close. 85 total yards for Washington-Wilkes, 76 for Lincoln County. One turnover, but it didn't amount to any points for Washington-Wilkes. Only two penalties in the first quarter, both against Washington-Wilkes for a total of 10 yards. Reed on 2nd and 5, hands it off. Hartfield, best run of the night for Lincoln County, or at least for a back other than Reed, the quarterback, and Hartfield with a nice run up the middle.
Yeah, great physical run. You see how quick he is. He gets through that hole, and he keeps those legs moving. Again, even picking up 1 to 2 yards after the contact at the end. They always have hard running backs here at Lincoln County.
Well, the ball is just shy of midfield at the 49. Red Devils with it. Larry Campbell Stadium, folks. One of the all-time winningest coach in Georgia, one of the all-time winningest coaches in the history of high school football in the country. Stepped down a few years ago.
A lot of great teams here. Again, great teams, great players, just a great overall high school football atmosphere here.
Yeah, the records are just incredible when you start running down the state titles. 37 region championships, 14 state championships. I mean, since 1970, they've won 502 and lost 102. Pretty good. Nice run here. Here we go. That's Reed down the sidelines. He's brought down just shy of the red zone. Right about the 22.
That dynamic offense we talked about coming into the game, showing some spurts here and there. And just trying to get it.
Washington County defenders ran into one another there.
They're just looking for that consistency that we've grown accustomed to seeing. 22-yard run there by the QB.
22-yard run by Javon Reed. Javon Reed, the quarterback, who we've seen for a couple of years now. They hand it to Hartfield. Hartfield breaks across the middle and then kind of against the grain to the right for a nice pickup. Crew with the tackle.
Yeah, almost didn't necessarily have to cut back there. Had a lot of green grass to his left.
This drive looks very, very familiar for Lincoln County fans because that's what they do. They beat you on the ground for the most part. They've had some good quarterbacks over the years that can throw it. Ken Barnett stands out as one. They go to Hartfield again, and bam, Hartfield into that line of scrimmage. Both these backs, Hartfield and Hogan, not big, but they hit the hole so hard.
Yeah, you almost have to have your blocks in place, or they're gonna run over you if you're an offensive lineman. They do not slow down. Maybe for a little bit of a cutback, but that's about it. They run hard each and every time.
On 3rd and short, they run a quarterback keeper, and it looks like Reed's going to easily get the first down. So a first down. I think they're just outside of the 10-yard line. And we've got a timeout on the field. Napleton Infinity timeout here. We appreciate you being with us. And don't forget, tonight at 11:35, the area's only 30-minute show dedicated to high school football. It's Football Friday night with Matt Zahn and Nathan Palm. A chance to get all the highlights and interesting info from around the area tonight. No station covers more high school football games than the folks with WJBF and Football Friday night, the area's #1 high school football television show. Despite the brief appearance by Matt Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, and me.
Sure. Yeah, don't blink or you'll miss it. Or do blink.
Last week they seemed to give me a lot more time. I'm not sure why.
I can see that.
All right.
Here with Robert Wheeler, principal of Washington-Wilkes High School. How do you like this game so far?
Oh, it's fun and exciting. It's always great to have these two communities come together. Really kind of hate each other tonight. They'll love each other tomorrow, but it's bragging rights for the whole year.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Pete. Good job down there. And that's an Augusta Auto Auction Sideline Report with Pete Mitchenfelder. So happy he's joining us tonight. Lincoln County trying to tie this thing up. Long, methodical drive.
Garbage can is right here.
So Reed with Hartfield behind him. And Reed gives it to Hartfield. Hartfield cuts up the middle and fighting defenders. He got some help from Keyshawn Martin, 34. Hartfield, watch how hard he hits the hole here. He knocks the pile back despite how small he is.
Yeah, he's jumping. He only has one leg to use it. He's using it to jump into the Tiger defenders. Again, always Red Devils have a tenacious running back each and every year.
Second down from the 5. Reed's going to keep it. And Reed is hit. He does get about 2, maybe 3. So it's going to be 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd down for the Red Devils. They're at the 3. Reed's going to keep it. They got so many yards on the quarterback keeper early. Oh, and there's some pushing and shoving going on. Well, again, these teams, big rivals. It will be 4th down. It should be from about the 1-yard line. Yeah, they're inside the 1. Let's see what the Red Devils choose to do here. Do you go right back with another quarterback keeper, Matt?
I mean,
you were able to get big yardage earlier, but that time not quite as much.
I mean, they both run so well. I think you're going to see QB here.
The ball is kicked out. Now, did he cross the goal line? That's the question. If it didn't cross the goal line, it's touch. Let's see it. Let's see it. And they're still talking it over, the officials, but They're giving this football to Washington-Wilkes at about the 5. Let's see it again. As they get you see the end of the play. Let's see right here as he reached across the goal line. But the ball came out.
It's hard to tell if it was able to go across the end.
Well, it looks like he had to have reached across. He was so close, but the ball was hit out immediately. So Washington-Wilkes dodged a big bullet there, and they've got the football. So both teams, defenses, have dodged one here. And the Red Devils back on defense.
Again, 21 points scored in the first quarter, just an explosive first quarter of football.
Well, and again, Washington-Wilkes could easily have another score on the turnover by Lincoln County, and the Red Devils could have had a score there. We could be looking at 21-14 already. So Washington-Wilkes with the football. 2nd down and 8. And quarterback's going to keep it. That's Colors, nowhere to go, and boy, he is hit hard. I tell you what, number 9 for the Red Devils, that is Jayden Robinson. Good-looking player there.
Yeah, really good-looking linebacker.
We had a dead ball and a personal foul against the offense. He has the distance to go.
They got a personal foul against the Tigers. So that'll march them backwards. Again, when they're this close to the goal line, any type of loss is a really bad loss, and we'll see where they line them up at the yard line. So with the quarterback standing in the end zone.
See what they choose to do here. 3rd down. And nowhere to really run, and they're going to be punting from in their own end zone. So Lincoln County's defense gets the job done after they coughed up the football.
And we'll see what they do here if they really try to come after the punt.
Here we go, 4th down, punting from in their own end zone. It's a low line drive kick. It's going to take a great Washington-Wilkes bounce.
And Washington-Wilkes really lucking out. Lincoln County not wanting to come after it, and they're in the end zone, and then not even able to pick up the ball.
Yeah, you got to do one or the other. Go after it or set up a return. And perfect job for Washington-Wilkes because they come away. They were punting from the back of their own end zone, and instead of Lincoln County they still get good field position, but it could have been a lot worse. 50-yard punt. So 2 punts right now for an average of 46.5 yards a punt for the Tigers. Reed at quarterback, ball at the 45. And he goes to Hartfield. Actually, Reed kept it again. Nice fake. Reed with some good blocks from his receivers. He's got an easy 1st down and then some, all the way inside the 35. So he picks up about 21 or 2. And folks, each game we recognize 2 scholars of the game from East Georgia State College. Tonight for Lincoln County, it's Jaquez Kennebrew, number 56, a starting left tackle. He also has a grade point average of 95.58 cumulative. He's ranked number 10 in his class. Congratulations to Lincoln County High School Scholar of the Game, Jaquez Kennebrew. We're going to take a timeout while we've got one on the field. It's WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Washington-Wilkes leads Lincoln County 14-7. What a great night for football. Beautiful, beautiful evening, and we got a great crowd on both sides of the stadium tonight for the matchup they call the Highway 378 war between Washington-Wilkes and Lincoln County. Devon Reed with the ball, hands it to Hartfield, and Hartfield is slammed back, nowhere to go there. It was 2nd and 1. Now it'll be, or check that, 1st and 1. It'll be 2nd down after the penalty. What happened on that long run by Reed? There was a penalty, and it was a spot of, it was from the spot of the foul. So he actually lost about a yard. And there's Coach Kelly for Washington-Wilkes. Reed hands it to Hartfield this time, and Hartfield's going to have the first down. Right just across the 45 of Washington-Wilkes. Again, we mentioned between these two schools, you start counting the championships, it's pretty amazing. 60 region championships, 18 state titles, and 1,369 wins between the two programs. And Hartfield again up the middle, and still on his feet. What a great run by Clay Hartfield. No business for him to still be on his feet, but he was. Now he'll have to leave for a play because he lost his helmet. But I think Lincoln County will take that trade-off. Great run by Hartfield.
Yeah, terrific job of continuing to move his legs, and it looks like he's down there.
It looks like he's, there, and
there.
then maybe there.
Sticks his hand on the ground, continues to run, and just, once again, just a terrific running back.
I tell you, Cruz, a heck of a player for Wilkes. He made a great come from behind tackle there, not giving up on the play. It was a 24-yard run for Hartfield. So Reed, with Hartfield taking a break, Reed's going to keep it. Reed ran into one of his linemen, but then followed him through for a pretty nice pickup. Big number 75, Mitch Matthews. So Lincoln County on the move here. Well, under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Lincoln County trying to tie it up. They fell behind immediately, matched Washington-Wilkes' his first touchdown, and then Wilkes came up with another one, and they lead it. Reed hands it off. Good hit. Boy, I tell you, there's some hitting going on in this one. Ricardo Hawes was the back who ran the ball.
And then Hunter Brock and Mason Kronick really finished him off. As you see, a good job. I think that's Kronick there, moving the offensive lineman off of him and really finishing off the.
So Reed has it. Hartfield, and boy, Hartfield hit hard that time.
Once
Boy,
again,
Hunter Brock laying some hits out there. Also, number 15 in on that play.
Devin Owens. Just a great job on defense from Washington-Wilkes. Brings up a big 4th and 5.
So here we go. The Red Devils have the ball back inside the red zone yet again. They're starting to pile up the yards, but they trail in the game.
I was going to say they've been moving the ball down the field, but you look at that scoreboard and it's the same.
So we got a timeout on the field. And we'll go ahead and take a break with them. A Napleton Infinity timeout on the field, and we'll be back with more. As 2:38 to go here in, or 2:30 to go here in the first half. Lincoln County trails 14-7 against Washington-Wilkes. Back in Lincoln, in Georgia. Before we get back to action, though, let's head down on the field for another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report with Pete Mitchenfelder.
I'm with Michael Jones, assistant principal of Washington-Wilkes. Michael, a lot of pep rallies and stuff this week?
Absolutely. Had a big day today with the combined pep rally with the middle school and the high school. Everybody getting excited for the big game to pull these Tigers through.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. We got to play a whole game, though. Put all 4 quarters together.
Thank you, sir. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. Reed looking to throw. Got a man open, and he overthrew him. He had him open, but he overthrew it. And it is incomplete, and it will be Washington-Wilkes football. Reed had him open. but just a little too much air on that one.
Well, and threw it behind him a little bit. He could have let him a little bit better across the middle, but again, errant throw there, not able to bring it in and get the touchdown.
Quinn Wright was the receiver. So Washington-Wilkes with the football and the lead here. Could not have been a better start to the game for the Tigers. And man in motion, Colors the quarterback. He hands it to Hogan. Hogan is going to be brought down after maybe a yard, and coming up making the play for Lincoln County on defense was number 8, Zay Gartrell. Don't forget, you can catch the rebroadcast as we watch the replay here of Gartrell's tackle. You can catch the rebroadcast of tonight's game in its entirety on WJBF News Channel 6 this Sunday at noon. So here we go, Washington-Wilkes. There you see the Tigers fans who made the trip over. Colors looking to throw. Out in the flats, it is complete.
But just short of the first down, a great tackle there on the perimeter by Roberts.
Yeah, Madarius Roberts had a good year last year for the Red Devils. So here we go. 3rd down and about 4. Washington-Wilkes would love to go to the locker room with the lead, whether it's 14-7 or more. Converting here would almost ensure they have the lead going to the locker room. And there's guy. I was going to say there. A man in motion.
He could have just kept going and been all right.
Yeah, he didn't think. Didn't think about that one. If he'd have kept going, he'd have been fine. Instead of 3rd and 4, it's going to be 3rd and 9. Yeah, the man in motion on the play decided to stop for a moment because it looked like maybe he was running the wrong play or something. But
he almost had that. You walk in late to class and you walk in and everybody looks at you and you just freeze for a second, even though you still got to go sit down.
Yeah. So the Tigers here on 3rd down. Under a minute to go. They fake it to Hogan. Here's Colors. And Colors is hit and brought down short of the first down marker. And
good play there by Gartrell, spinning off his blocker to make the tackle.
Yeah, Gartrell with some help from Jayden Robinson, the junior, who they're very high on here. And another timeout on the field. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We've had a great time this year with Game Night Live. Talk about thrillers. We had the Laney Aquinas game earlier this year that ended on a 44-yard field goal on the final play of the game. We had a 4-overtime thriller last week between North Augusta and Strom Thurmond that ended 41-38. We've had some great individual performances like the 200 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns from quarterback Tyrese Nick of Strom Thurmond in their win over Midland Valley. It's been a fun year so far, and we got plenty more to come, including the rest of this one that right now is shaping up to be a great, great ball game.
And for Lincoln County here, Nathan Edwards pointing out that Lincoln County out of timeouts. So with about 48 seconds left, they're going to have to kind of carve out their time wisely if they're going to try to get any points before the half.
One thing they've got to do is a better job covering the punts, because right now Washington-Wilkes is averaging over 46 yards a punt, 46 and a half.
And it's like you said, you either got to block it or return it.
This time we'll see if the return man, no, he lets it hit, and again, nothing he can do with it.
I don't know if he.
So number 51, Mason Cronick, the punter, has been
tough.
outstanding tonight.
Getting some help, but yeah, he's doing
They're
a great
good.
job. Yeah, for it to
Over
bounce
40
in their favor. Yeah.
Anytime you can average over about 38 or 39 in high school, it's good, and he's averaging about well over 40. That one was 42.
So over 38 is good.
In high school.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends. There's some other sabermetrics type stuff inside the 20, how many are returned, net yards, all that. And he hasn't had one returned yet.
That helps.
And here goes Reed looking deep. He's got a man wide open, and it was underthrown, but there might be pass interference.
And it was going to be an underthrown ball if the Washington-Wilkes defender just doesn't hit him for kind of no reason. He wasn't going to be able to get back to it, as you'll see it here.
It was underthrown.
Wasn't going to be able to get to it if he just doesn't do anything, but he just runs into the guy thinking he might have a chance.
This leads me to believe that Lincoln County might go to the air a little more in this ball game because he
we got
was
pass
open.
interference
The last two
on the
pass
defense.
plays,
That'll be a
the receiver
15-yard
was open.
penalty from the previous spot.
Number 24, Quindarius
First
Wright.
down.
Quinn Wright was the receiver. One thing it also does is stop the clock for the Red Devils. And Washington-Wilkes, who's played such a fine ball game so far, hoping to get a stop here and go to the locker room with a lead. 14-7. Tigers on top of the Red Devils. Lincoln County with 51 yards to go. The pay dirt. Reed's going to roll out, looking to throw. Nowhere to go. Finds a man on the sidelines, and a good job getting out of bounds by the receiver.
And had a ton of time.
Antonio Williams caught
Most
it.
importantly, gets out of bounds.
Here's our University Healthcare System instant replay. Reed. There you go, finding the young receiver. So here we go. Red Devils on 2nd down and 5. 22.9 seconds to go. Reed ran into his blocker and heaves it up, and it was almost intercepted.
Really,
that was Hogan back there.
In the hands of the running back slash defensive back, but man, hit him in the worst spot.
Well, watch here. You'll see Reed. He kind of steps into his blocking back, Hartfield, and maybe because of that, unable to make an accurate enough throw for it to be caught by his receiver. 15.5, 3rd down. Red Devils don't appear to want to go to the locker room down 7. They're fighting, trying to get a big play here. Larry Campbell Stadium, Buddy Buffett Field. They've seen many a fine football game here. And we got ourselves another one tonight. Devon Reed is the quarterback. Steps up, throws, got a man, middle of the field. Oh, and to be honest with you, I don't know how awful it was that was dropped because the clock was going to be running, and I don't know if they could have got a play off.
They would have been pushing just to maybe have a second left by the time that they down the ball.
And one thing you got to do if you're Lincoln County, you can't intentionally ground. You can't stop the clock if you're in the shotgun.
Yeah.
So they've got to remember to get under center if they're going to try and clock it.
That's true. But now this will be a heave as far as you can. See if something good happens. Or they might just grab a knee here. I think they're just going to take a knee.
Punting it away here. Just on 4th and 5. And that is going to do it. The clock is at 0. And that is going to do it for a fine first half, especially if you're a fan of the Tigers from Washington-Wilkes, because they lead the Lincoln County Red Devils by a score of 14-7, thanks to a pair of touchdowns from Quindarius Hogan, a 55-yarder and a 2-yarder. And Washington-Wilkes leads. Let's go down on the field. Pete Mitchenfelder has Coach Kelly. Pete?
All right, Coach. You're in a good spot here. You may not have anticipated it, but what was the key so far to your team?
No, we anticipated. Our guys are playing football tonight. And what we got to do is we got to continue to execute like we did on the first 2 drives and get back to taking the fight to them. We went a little stagnant in the second half. They made some adjustments. They started digging deep, and we got to preach to them this game ain't over. We got 24 minutes and continue the war.
What was the key to the first half, do you think? How did you prep your guys?
We came out ready to play. They've had enough. They got after it, and we just got to continue to get back to that.
Good luck second half. Thanks, Coach.
Hey,
Back to
fired
you
up.
guys.
Thanks, Pete. A fired up Coach Kelly. And loving that. And right now, Washington-Wilkes on top. 14-7 is your score. Stick around for us during halftime. We're going to have all sorts of great stuff. We might have a special guest, I'm told. We've got the bands. We've got stats. Matt and I will break down the first half, preview the second half. It's all coming your way. Halftime here, WJBF Sports Game Night Live. All right, back, folks, here at Larry Campbell Stadium, and as we get a chance to see and hear the Lincoln County Red Devil Band perform. All right, folks, back at Lincoln County High School, of course, Ashley Brown, Matt Lane, our spotter and statistician, Nathan Edwards, and down on the sidelines, Pete Mitchenfelder, and look at some of the first half highlights. And first off, we knew it was going to be a, battle, and look at the hit right off the start of this one by Robinson, Jayden Robinson, a good-looking junior for Lincoln County. Would not affect the Tigers, though, because they wasted very little time, third or fourth offensive play. They gave it to Hogan, or actually it was Colors. There you go, gave it to Hogan here, and he goes 55 yards for the touchdown. Hogan had a big first half, and that put Washington-Wilkes out in front 7-0 against their arch rivals. And here goes Hogan again, this time a little shorter. Well, actually, Colors gets it down to the goal line for him. And one of the highlights, seriously, of the first half was the punting of Cronick. And not necessarily that he was booming them, but he was getting such good bounces. He averaged about 44 yards per punt in the first half. And Washington-Wilkes will have the full first half stats for you in just a moment. Nathan's calculating as we speak. And Matt, for Washington-Wilkes, you couldn't ask for a better start. And they were able to hang in there, too, because Lincoln County really started to move the football. But they were moving it, but it was a bend-don't-break style defense for Washington-Wilkes that allowed them to keep the lead going to the locker room.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the yardage being very similar, but, again, the score hadn't changed. And for Washington-Wilkes, getting a little lucky on a missed tackle on that long touchdown run, but hey, 14-7, their defense has played great in the first half.
Well, I said we might have a special guest, and we do. Legendary coach, longtime coach of Lincoln County, the all-time winningest coach in Georgia history, with Pete Mitchenfelder. Go, Pete.
Larry, looking at the field box across the way, it says Larry Campbell Stadium. How does that make you feel?
Well, makes you want to be out there on a night like tonight. Beautiful weather and a good football game going, but I retired to the upper deck up there and watch it by myself.
Now it's 3 grandchildren, 140 head of cattle, some horses. How do you like in life?
I thoroughly enjoy it. I really miss Friday nights, but the rest of it with the athletic director duties and all that, I hadn't missed it a lick.
Give me an assessment of tonight's game.
You know, we're supposed to be better. I mean, we really are. We thought we are better. I think in the second half we'll take over. Our offense has really got some offensive weapons. We just hadn't got clicking yet. Number 5 is a big part of it, and he's been hurt the last 2 weeks, and he's back out there. But I think we'll really win the football game in the second half. Washington, you know, according to their records, but they played some good football teams. But you can throw the records out the door when Lincoln plays Washington-Wilkes. It's always been that way, so who knows?
Exactly. Good to see you.
Yes,
Glad
sir,
you're
Pete.
enjoying
My
retirement.
pleasure.
And boy, you sure have meant a lot to high school football in this market, in the state, in the Southeast, and across the country.
Well, thank you and Channel 6 and the coverage y'all giving us. Sure do. Appreciate it, Pete.
All right, back to you guys.
That is so special there. Larry Campbell, the legendary longtime coach here at Lincoln County. He coached 42 years, Matt, 41 consecutive winning seasons. He had a losing season his first year, and then 41 straight winning seasons here as the head coach at Lincoln County. And Larry Campbell, we appreciate that. All right, let's look at the first half stats. And Matt, we said Lincoln County started to pile up the yardage. They really dominated yardage-wise and time of possession in that second quarter. 159 yards rushing now for Lincoln County compared to 87 for Washington-Wilkes. 55 of those for Wilkes came on that one long touchdown run. The pass yards, not a whole lot, 31 for Lincoln County, 14 for Washington-Wilkes. So that gives Lincoln County the lead at 190 to 101, but a key stat is next, and that's turnovers.
Yeah, 2 turnovers for Lincoln County, and more importantly, for Washington-Wilkes, 0. Again, they're going to have to continue that in this half. They've been able to hold them off 14-7 to begin, but again, 2 turnovers for Lincoln County, really proving the difference to start this game, being down 1 score.
Well, Coach Waters is not going to like that 2 turnovers, but he's going to like the 1 penalty. Lincoln County only had 1. Washington-Wilkes had 5 for 34 yards. Time of possession, 14:27 for the Red Devils, 9:33 for Washington-Wilkes. Average starting position, 42 yards on the 42-yard line for Washington-Wilkes on their own 31 from Lincoln County. Let's go back down to the field with more from Pete Mitchenfelder.
I am with a full-fledged Marine here who was enjoying the game. Introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Staff Sergeant Comtois. I'm actually from Augusta, Georgia. I'm the recruiter for the Augusta area.
How do you like coming out to games like this?
Oh, you can't beat this on a Friday night. You know, you come out here, get to support the community, and get a lot of involvement and give back.
What kind of reaction do you get from the kids and their families as you being a Marine?
We actually get a lot of support. Everyone's very thankful for the things that we do.
What if someone is interested in becoming a Marine? What should they do?
If somebody's interested in becoming a Marine, the best way to do so is actually talk to a local Marine Corps recruiter. They can go to our website, marines.com, or even call 1-800-MARINES.
If you want to look good in the dress blues, join the Marines.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your service. Thanks for being here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. We appreciate that, and, yeah, we appreciate his service for sure. We are going to take a timeout here. We're in the middle of halftime, and it is Lincoln County hosting their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes. The Tigers lead it right now, 14-7. We're back with more halftime festivities, and we got a second half to play as well. It's all coming up on WJBF Game Night Live.
Going to Georgia.
And we are back here at Lincoln, Georgia, the home of the Red Devils. And let's learn a little bit more about Lincoln County High School.
I'm very lucky and very blessed to be in Lincoln County. I love every second of the time I've been here.
As a resident of Lincoln County High School, this is one of the biggest games of the year. We look forward to it every year. And again, we want to come out on top, and we will come out on top. And again, the students are excited, the teachers are excited, and our community is excited.
It's the biggest game of the year, in my opinion. Like, it's a rivalry game, man. Both teams, we know they're going to play hard. That's what's going to make us come out and play even harder.
Go back to 2005 or 6, when the state championship, we beat them 25-0 for a state championship.
It really means something to you because, you know, in the past, you got like older people that has done a lot with their jersey on, and it's like it's amazing. And then they're going to be at the game watching you play and all that.
Oh, it's not a normal Friday game. Our kids are going a little harder, a little more energy, a little more excitement. They know the deal.
Born and raised right here in Lincoln County, and to be the principal of this school, to watch the kids matriculate from elementary to middle to high, and then see the excitement and of the community and of the fans, just not only for football, but academics. We have a good community support system, and it's just a great place to be.
And welcome back, folks. That's right, Lincoln County High School. So much tradition here with the football program. Washington-Wilkes as well. And as we expected, we have a good battle between two good programs here. 14-7, Washington-Wilkes is on top of Lincoln County. We ran through the team stats. Let's do a quick look at the individual stats. Javon Reed leads the way for Lincoln County on the ground. 11 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Also, Quay Hartfield, 13 carries for 69 yards. Passing, Reed is 2 of 7 for 31 yards. Gartrell has the big catch, a 26-yarder. Washington-Wilkes leading the way is Hogan, 10 carries, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And not a whole lot of offense through the air at all for Washington-Wilkes, mostly on the ground. They're 2 of 4 passing for 14 yards. Well, let's go down. I believe Pete Mitchenfelder has rounded up another celeb down on the sidelines. Pete?
Celebrity of sorts, Ames Barnett, mayor of Washington, Georgia. How are you enjoying the game tonight?
Man, it is awesome. We're doing great. It's just glad to see these kids getting out here giving 100%. Great for our kids and our community.
How's government doing in Washington? What's some issues there?
The government is doing great. I mean, the past years we've got it running real efficient. It's doing great. We just had our budget meeting today, going through our 2017 budget. We kept property taxes the same, a bunch of cuts throughout the years that let us be more efficient, and therefore we're running efficient government, not passing on to the taxpayers.
You got the holidays coming up. Name drop an event or two in Washington.
We're going to have the Christmas tree on the square again. This is the tree we put up, a live tree from North Carolina, about 20 foot tall, and all the kids in the school make ornaments. They bring them to City Hall, and we decorate the tree with ornaments, all from the kids of the school. And it's a great event. We started it last year, and just a great event to bring everybody out to the town square.
Beautiful, beautiful. Appreciate your service to the city of Washington.
It's an honor. Thank y'all for what you
Enjoy
do.
the second half.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Pete. Yeah, the mayor of Washington, Georgia, Ames Barnett. I was listening to him, but I couldn't stop looking at the tiger behind him.
You're unbelievable.
Couldn't stop. Really, though, Ames Barnett, great guy. I got a chance to meet him a few years back. He was involved in the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Man and Woman of the Year campaign. He was one of the men vying for the title and raised a bunch of money, and we really appreciate his hard work for such a great cause. So thanks to Ames Barnett, the mayor of Washington, Georgia. Well, folks, it's not a good night if you're a Clarkston High School football fan. I had to double-check this one a couple of times. They're playing Thompson tonight. It is 66-0 at halftime. Thompson over Clarkston out of Atlanta. Not good. Aquinas and Hancock Central, the Fighting Irish on top there, 21-0. Most of these scores are at halftime or late in the first half, thanks to our good friend Bill Botham with the updates. Laney out in front of Westside, it's 21-0. Jefferson County leads Glen Hills 14-0. Over in South Carolina, South Aiken leads Aiken, big rivalry game, 10-7. North Augusta over Lower Richland, 20-6. And Strom-Thurmond leads Edisto. That's a big region game. Strom-Thurmond on top, 7-0 is the score there. And right here, of course, Washington-Wilkes leads Lincoln County 14-7. And a great first half of football. We should be prepared for a great second half of football. Very few settings any better than right here in Lincolnton. Larry Campbell Stadium, Buddy Buffett Stadium. So much tradition, and again, so much tradition between these two programs. And again, if you missed any of the action, any of the ball game, if you want to catch it, you can see the rebroadcast Sunday at noon on WJBF News Channel 6. As the halftime festivities are winding down here. We'll be set for the second half. Lincoln County won the toss and they deferred, so they will get the football to start the second half, as they really started to take over the game in terms of yardage in that second quarter. It was a dominant second quarter, really, for Lincoln County. numbers-wise, but they just couldn't score. There's a look at the Washington-Wilkes cheerleaders. We finally, Nathan pointed this out, Matt, we finally have football weather.
That is true. Today is, the past 2 days have been fantastic. Today probably being the best in the morning, that you finally feel like it's time.
I used to say it was not football weather until you could drink hot chocolate. I've almost given up on that one. But this is a pretty night. This is close to a hot chocolate night.
Have you quit hot chocolate?
No, I'm still hardcore hot chocolate.
That's great. That's great news. I know a lot of people were
I've
worried
tried to
about
cut
that
down,
at home.
but I just can't cut it all the way out. Cold turkey's not the way for me.
I tell you, when I think of football, I don't think of hot chocolate.
You don't think of me drinking hot chocolate? Find that very hard to believe. We'll take a quick break. Back. Washington-Wilkes on top of Lincoln County 14-7. The second half is coming up next. And we welcome you back to the home of the Red Devils, Lincoln County High School, Larry Campbell Stadium, Buddy Bufford Stadium for second half action, WJBF Game Night Live, where Lincoln County is on top, or trails right now, that is 14-7. Let's go down to Pete Mitchenfelder. He's got Coach Kevin Banks of the Red Devils.
Coach, close game. What'd you tell the team at halftime?
Well, same thing I told them before halftime, man. The coaches did a good job. They're ready to play. I mean, we just got to come out and play. They got 2 early touchdowns on us, so we just got to come out and play.
What's the number one thing they got to work on second half?
We got to run the football. Got to run the football.
Good luck, Coach.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Coach Banks with some pretty clear words there. We got to run the football.
Yeah, he even said it twice.
Well, that's what they're known for anyway. They actually ran it pretty well. It's just their drive stalled.
Yeah,
before they could get the end zone.
Well, poor tackling, giving them the first touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows if they get in the end zone. Washington-Wilkes does on that first touchdown if they don't have some poor tackling from the safety position.
Again, the second quarter yardage, and I'm going to try to find my first quarter stats because there's a big difference. In the second quarter, Lincoln County really started to dominate statistically. And if that continues, that does not bode well if you're a Washington-Wilkes fan. As a matter of fact, the stats look like this. Second quarter stats, 16 yards for Washington-Wilkes, 114 for Lincoln County. So here we go. Washington-Wilkes. They've already made Lincoln County fumble one of these things, a little high kick, short kick. A fair catch that time by the return man. That's why you see so many of those upbacks call fair catch. It's kind of the game plan from the coach. We talked about that last week with Chris Hughes, who did such a great job filling in for Matt Lane.
Yeah, a lot of good nuggets in there when you're able to talk about kind of the inside parts of the game, kind of, the goings and back and forth, coaching against each other and trying to get an advantage so you can maximize on that advantage.
Wow, Hartfield slammed to the turf. How about our Augusta Payne Center hit of the game there? Number 35 for the Tigers. With a big hit there. That is Devonta Owens, just a junior.
As you see, Hartfield just stretching to get that extra yardage.
Good sportsmanship there as the two get up and congratulate one another. All right, so here we go. Red Devils with the ball, 2nd and 10. Rolling out is Reed, looking for a man. Reed's going to keep it now. Reed makes one man miss, stays on his feet. Oh, he's still on his feet. Look at this run by Reed as a helmet comes flying off. Nice play by the quarterback of the Red Devils. His second effort got the first down. Great play by Reed at quarterback. Plenty of special guests at halftime. And in just a moment after this play, we're going to introduce you to another special guest we have up in the box with us here, representing our fine sponsor, McDonald's. We'll see what Lincoln County does here on first down, though. Man in motion is Robinson, the good-looking junior. Reed up the middle, short gain, and let's introduce you to our representative from McDonald's. We have got Miss Miranda Beard with us. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Tell us, how did you get your start with McDonald's?
I actually started at the Ronald McDonald House as a resident manager before going in the restaurants.
That's phenomenal. Great to hear. Great to hear. And we always talk about this every week, but it's so true in every community, and we haven't been to Lincoln in this year, but the impact that the high school kids have, not just as customers, but working at McDonald's all over the country, and I'm sure we're no different here.
That's right. In our 11 restaurants, we have several students working for us.
That is terrific. And in addition to the work, they are customers too, though, because everybody likes to grab them a bite to eat at McDonald's after the ball game.
Yes, yes.
So big crowd there?
Yes.
That's good to hear. Now, we've got a new app as well. The folks at McDonald's have been telling us about all year. Talk about that a little bit.
Make sure everyone takes the opportunity to download that new app that we have to take advantage of different savings when you're in the restaurants.
Absolutely. Well, Miranda, we are so happy with our partnership with McDonald's. We thank you so much for you guys being a part of high school football. It's a perfect marriage, McDonald's and high school athletics. It's terrific. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot. That is Miranda Beard representing McDonald's tonight for us. And, of course, we've got our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game coming up. And one man trying to make that is quarterback Javon Reed. He's over 100 yards now. Reed, as you see here on the instant replay, another nice run. Boy, what a great block he got. One of the linebackers was coming up trying to fill the hole, and number 61 for the Red Devils, Trajan Crawford, with a great block. So Lincoln County on the move. 2nd down and 2 after the 8-yard pickup. Reed's over 100, but his Red Devils trail it. 118 yards now. This time he hands to Hartfield, and Hartfield's going to pick up short yardage. And again, Brock with another tackle. He's played a great game tonight, number 3 in white. There you see him. Not afraid to stick his nose in there. Let's see it right here is Hartfield. You see 3 coming right into the hole there and making a nice play.
Well, yeah, and then just
the
solid
Red Devils
tackle.
on the move. 3rd and short. 3rd down and short. Reed, it was a little bit of miscommunication maybe in the backfield, but they're going to get the first down anyway. They're inside the 30.
And it looks like a very important player for Lincoln County, number 9 right there. You see him at the top of your screen limping off right there, Jayden Robinson, talented linebacker.
That affects him more on defense than offense.
It really does.
He's been outstanding tonight.
And it looks like he is gonna run out.
They'll give him a break. Reed and Hartfield, the two-headed monster, running the football for the Red Devils. And Reed keeps it. Oh, here he is in the open field. He got a great block downfield. Love seeing. We brag about the receivers blocking downfield, but how about a big lineman getting down there? Great block by number 56 in red and white, Jaquez Kennebrew, our scholar of the game. Watch this block at the end of the play, way down the field, to open it up for extra yardage for his quarterback. Great shot there by our crew on that instant replay.
See him shotgun. He hands it off to Hartfield. Hartfield runs up, almost gets
his way inside.
Yeah, almost gets to the end zone.
5. And Hartfield, again, hits that hole so hard. Held onto the football there, too, because the defender got his hand right on that arm. And again, Lincoln County again tonight in the John Harris Body Shop's red zone, but they have only 1 touchdown to show for it. And they've had a number of trips. See what they do here. It is 2nd down from the 3. Reed keeps it. He's hit from behind. He's going to be stopped short He lost, he might be hurt. He lost the football at the end of the play. Kind of came down awkward, but he's getting right up. At the end of this play, he might have just let go of the ball, but I saw the ball loose. As you see, he kind of fell. He got hit there at the end of the play. And it looked like he was just trying to stretch forward for extra yardage.
Yeah, getting nearby the goal line to try to stretch it over and tie this game up.
3rd and goal from the 1. Reed in the shotgun. He gives it to Hartfield, and Hartfield is going to be stuffed. He's stuffed short. It's 4th down again. Boy, this Washington-Wilkes defense, they are bending like crazy, but they're not breaking.
And they'll really need it here as they're going to. We saw Quay Hartfield run off, Nathan Edwards pointing out, off the field.
You got a key on the quarterback Reed here then. Robinson's back in, as is number 14. We did see him in the first half, but Ricardo Hawes is certainly not the first option.
Yeah, you got to think that Reed's going to keep it here.
Yeah. Let's see what Reed does. And, he handed it off, but there's a flag on the play. And a false start on Lincoln County, it looks like. He was handing it off to number 24.
On the offense, a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
So now it's 4th down and goal to go from the 6. And let's see, looks like they're going to bring on the kicking team. So they're going to try to kick it here. They're down 14-7. Another Georgia Military College Kicks for College. Georgia Military College donating money for every kick made this year to form a college scholarship to a lucky Georgia Military College student. And they got a bunch of them last week. And this kick is up, and did it get through? It was no good. So Lincoln County again marches right down the field, and again they come up short with no points. This has been an unbelievable game. Yardage-wise, Lincoln County is dominating, but they are losing on the scoreboard, and that's where it counts.
And that could prove to be, we get towards the end of the game, proven to be the difference, right? They're getting that close to the end zone, getting to just mere feet away from getting into the end zone and electing to kick it off the false start and not getting any points out of it.
Coach Banks has to be frustrated with this one. Let's go down to the field real quick. Pete Mitchenfelder with an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Pete?
I'll tell you what, guys, halftime can be good things for teams and bad things for others, but I'll tell you what, Washington-Wilkes still coming out strong, and missing that field goal of Lincoln County, that's certainly another bad thing for Lincoln County Red Devils. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're right. All the big plays seem to have gone Washington-Wilkes' way, and they're creating that, though. You got to give them credit. Little things like the punts that Lincoln County has not fielded. It's cost them about 60 yards tonight on those bounces.
But coming back from halftime for really nothing to change from the first half, you usually don't see that. Usually the team that's down charges back. They make a little run, and then – but from this game, it's just been – sort of more the same. It's just kind of continued, and now Washington-Wilkes has the ball with a chance to really put together a long drive and take the third quarter off the map and take it to the fourth quarter with a chance to win it.
Hogan with the carry, and they're going to be short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and about 2. Well, 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Brock was the lead blocker and was able to open a hole. This has been a hard-fought game. And Lincoln County, that big 66, they got a couple of freshmen on their defensive front. You just don't see that very often. And here we go, Washington-Wilkes, 3rd down and 2. Brock again in motion. He's usually the blocker, so let's see if they follow him. This time they do, with the quarterback colors, and he's going to have the first down. And you see, they'll put Brock in motion right here, and then they follow him and Hogan. with the quarterback. So Brock's able to pick up one blocker. He does, our defensive player, he does. And then Hogan did. So the good job executing by Washington-Wilkes. You got to give them a lot of credit. Great work by the camera crew there. And now they're looking to throw. Colors steps up, and he's going to be brought down from behind by big number 61 for the Red Devils. So nice play by Crawford. We bragged about his blocking a moment ago. There he makes a nice defensive play. 78 is also a freshman. That is Tyson Zellers. He might be another one in the long line of great defensive linemen they've had here. Jarius Wynn stands out as one. And we're cruising through the third quarter. The problem for Lincoln County, how many more possessions do you have? So Colors hands it to Hogan. Hogan is going to be brought down by a host of red jerseys. Well, technically there were players in those jerseys, but he's still brought down nonetheless. So it's third down and about 9. Don't forget also at the end of the season, we got 2 big events coming up in January. We've got Border Bowl 4. You may see some of these players in that Border Bowl.
You certainly will.
And then we've also got the big all-CSRA football team award banquet. Can't wait for that. WJBF with their handprint all over high school football in the area. Here's Colors looking deep. Got a man on, it's intercepted. First turnover of the night for Lincoln County, and there is a big play for Quinn Wright. They've been trying to get the ball in his hands all night. They haven't been able to. He decided
gets
to
it himself, yeah. Picks the ball off, gets a great return, and like we talked about coming out of halftime, neither team looking like they want to take over the momentum, and this could be all Lincoln County needs to get them re-energized, to put some points on the board, and we'll see more of that prolific offense more in action than we've seen so far in this game.
First turnover of the night for Washington-Wilkes, and it gives Lincoln County the ball at the 27. Yeah, but talking about Quinn Wright, they tried to hand it him on the little jet sweep earlier, and the play got blown dead. He's also been the return man on punts and kickoffs. They kicked it away from him. And here's Hartfield, and he's going to be stuffed for about a yard. And Brock down at the bottom of that pile. Number 3, Hunter Brock, and number 35, Devonta Owens have both played a heck of a game tonight. Owens was the first man through. Great shots all night on the instant replays from the WJBF crew. Reed. And Hartfield is just sandwiched right when he got the football. And there he is again. I tell you, 35 in white. Owens has played a heck of a game.
Really has a huge play there. Again, it looked like Lincoln County was going to put something together, and just really multiple Tigers coming unblocked.
Well, and he's having to come out of the game.
Hope he didn't get the cramp celebrating. Great play. Maybe a better celebration.
So he'll have to come out of the game. It looks like Cronick came in. So here we go. Reed on third down and 11. He's going to throw. Got a man in the middle. Oh, and the ball was tipped.
Like it might have been tipped.
Yeah, he had him. It looked like it was tipped. He had a man open. Let's see it on the replay here. Reed, good snap. Had room to throw. Again, that blocker's gotten in his way twice tonight.
He got tipped right as it left his hand.
Quay Hartfield twice tonight now has backed up into his quarterback, trying to serve as the blocker. He's got to be more aware. Fourth down, and they're going for it, this part of the field. Boy, what a job by Washington-Wilkes. The bend don't break defense. Oh, and we got a false start on Lincoln County. So instead of 4th and 11, it'll be 4th and 16. This is
got a false start.
This has got to be frustrating. You keep moving the ball. You're expecting at some point you're going to break through, and every time when you think you do, you get stuffed on 4th down. You get a penalty. You can't convert on the turnover. I mean, it's been a frustrating night, and you got to credit Washington-Wilkes for helping create that.
Again, really playing well tonight. Coming into this game, you know, Pete pointed it out earlier, 13 points so far in their season, and already with the most in this season of football for them, but really looking good tonight for Washington-Wilkes. And sometimes, you know, it takes a rivalry game to really bring it out of you.
Trey Martin lets it hit, and it is beautifully played by the Lincoln County punt team, and they are downing it inside the 5. We got a flag down, and it's another false start, and that's going to negate, again, this is one of those things where everything's happening. You know, you keep letting Washington-Wilkes
hang around.
Yeah, I mean, not hang around, they're leading, you know.
Well, hang around to the point that
I get what you're saying. I mean,
you have
that's
a
kind of
chance
the
to
old
make another
saying,
big play.
But right there, you pinned them back at the 1 or 2, and instead you got to punt it again. Trey Martin with an outstanding punt, even better coverage by the coverage team. And boy, Coach Banks, frustration. So let's see if Martin can pin them back again. Trey Martin, the punter. And return man calling for a fair catch, and he makes it. So not quite pinned back as deep as they were. We'll take a timeout. Back with more WJBF Sports Game Night Live in just a moment. All right, back at Larry Campbell Stadium, Lincoln County High School, Lincolnton, Georgia, and the Red Devils, they keep letting opportunities slip through their hands. And you got to wonder now, how many more possessions do they have? They only had 2 possessions in the third quarter. Washington-Wilkes, though, not much else. They've only had 52 yards of offense since their first drive. That's when they had the 55-yard touchdown. So Lincoln County has shut them down, but the problem is, again, Matt, you only had 2 possessions in the third quarter. So if you only get 2 in the fourth quarter, you better make one of them at least count
for a touchdown.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter of play. And let's go down to the field with Pete Mitchenfelder. Pete.
He's got some leg cramps. He was just on the ground. They were stretching his legs. So he is back up. Should be okay to play the fourth quarter. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Pete. Great shot there, getting the insight from down on the field. And we'll take a timeout here. Fourth quarter action is coming your way, so don't go anywhere. Lincoln County trails their arch rivals from Washington-Wilkes, 14-7. And we're back here for WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Fourth quarter action between Washington-Wilkes and Lincoln County with the Red Devils down 7. Here are the Tigers with the football. And again, Lincoln County's defense continues to play great. They have, other than that first opening drive of the game, they have really dominated that side of the ball. There's Jayden Robinson, who's played terrific tonight. But the problem is they cannot find any points. They're down 14-7. Washington-Wilkes came in having scored just 13 points in 4 games this year. Now, they have played a tough schedule. And Hunter Brock in the backfield with the quarterback. So we got a timeout on the field, a Napleton Infinity timeout. We'll keep it right here. Early fourth quarter. And in just a moment, we're going to introduce you to our East Georgia State College Scholar of the Game for Washington-Wilkes. And there's Coach Banks giving some instruction to his defense. They played terrific tonight. aside from, again, that one big play they gave up. Ashley Brown, Matt Lane, Nathan Edwards, Pete Mitchenfelder, who's done a great job down on the sidelines tonight for us. He got a chance to visit with Larry Campbell at halftime. That was a treat. And Hunter Brock in the backfield with quarterback. That is the number 11 colors, of course. And they do a little sweep. Oh, and might have had a face mask there. And there's no flag. Ooh. And a big hit at the end of the play. Keyshawn Martin. But there was no flag thrown. And it looked like a clear face mask. Let's watch the replay. He got a hold of it. He let go quick, but he did get a hold of it. That was a definite face mask, but so that's a break for Lincoln County big time. That would have been a first down. And instead, it's going to be 4th and 3. And let's see if they can come up with another good punt. And he's done it all game long. And another great punt. And Lincoln County has got to do a better job coming up and returning those punts.
You have to field the punt. I mean, you can't, because if you're not going to field the punt, you might as well just try to block it every time.
So the Red Devils, they had a different return man back that time. So they've had, actually, Matt's telling me that 27's been back the last few. They've alternated. They had 24 earlier in the game. That's a 53-yarder. And Cronick is averaging
that's way above
about 48 yards a punt tonight.
Way above your 38-yard recommended average.
47, I'm being told by Nathan. $47.5. So technically, Nathan and I were both right.
Well, that's great news.
So Reed with the run there. Nice look on the replay. So Lincoln County needs some points.
And once again, they'll have a chance.
Here's Hartfield. Well, I love the way Hartfield hits the hole. If he were about 5'11", there'd be a whole lot of college coaches here watching him from some big programs. Just a hard run right up the middle. And Lincoln County now, 1st and 10. Ball is at their own 40. They've given up so many yards tonight on those punts they've let hit and just roll and roll and roll. Reed, they tried that wide receiver screen earlier in the game. This time, though, they complete it. They got a great block, and they got ahead of Steve, the receiver. That's Madarius Roberts.
And another
dangerous play.
Well, not only dangerous play, but as you'll see at the beginning of this replay, could have easily been a flag. Looked like the Red Devil player almost tackled the Washington-Wilkes player.
I think that was Wright, number 24 on the block. Roberts on the catch. It was 24 yards. So Reed.
And another fortunate no flag there for Lincoln County.
And there he goes. That's the little guy Hartfield with another hard run. Lincoln County with another good drive, but this has been the case for the last 6 or 7. They just haven't been able to score.
Yeah, they've got plenty of yardage. Just have not been able to get into the end zone, and really the closer they got to their own end zone, Washington-Wilkes, really their defense improved vastly. So they would give up a lot of yardage in the middle of the field, but they would really stand tall when they got near the goal line.
And the ball's on the ground, but Reed got it back. Boy, that was dangerous. Very dangerous play there. Could have been a disaster for the Red Devils. Instead, they'll have it back, but it is 3rd down. And third down and about 4. Big play for the Red Devils. The game hanging in the balance here on this drive, perhaps. And Reed is going to give it to Hartfield, and Hartfield is stuffed. And there's Hunter Brock, number 3, in there again.
And once again,
and speaking of Hunter Brock, our East Georgia State College Scholar of the Game for Washington-Wilkes. There he is, Hunter Brock. He's had a great game tonight, 3.9 GPA. Senior starting linebacker, also fullback for the Washington-Wilkes Tigers. He is our East Georgia State College Scholar of the Game.
That's a great picture.
Javon Reed looking in trouble, scrambling, still in trouble. Now he's running, and he is going to run out of bounds. And let's see what's going on here. It was 4th down and 4. And it's going to depend on the spot. I didn't think he was going to get there, but he got awfully close. It's going to come down to the mark here, and they're going to say first down.
It did seem like it was a very generous spot.
Well, a couple of,
we'll see here at the end.
Lincoln County has benefited from a couple of big calls here. The missed face mask, maybe a missed bad block, and then the spot there, but it's a first down Red Devils. So here we go, ball just shy of the 25. There's Hartfield.
And a terrific tackle from 29, Jordan Thompson, that probably saved the touchdown right there as he wrapped up Hartfield and hung on to him, because he was, as you'll see right here, I don't know that anybody would have caught him if he doesn't wrap up. He would have to get him past Mardrez Jackson, but with that head full of steam, I don't know if anybody would have stopped him.
And Reed hands it off again to Hartfield. A heavy dose of Hartfield coming your way. There's a let's see, Washington-Wilkes thought they were motioning for a flag, but that is not the case. So the Red Devils, with 6:09 to go, they have marched up and down the field tonight, especially in the last 3 quarters, but not much at all to show for it. This time Reed's going to keep it. And Reed somehow got one defender to miss him, but he couldn't get past the second or third.
Yeah, sort of ran into Hartfield a little bit there. Two players in the same area, it's kind of tough to elude anybody.
That play took too long to develop as well.
You see him right here try to run up the middle, but having to run to the outside and kind of slows you up when you have to run alongside your running back.
So the Red Devils, here's where their drives have seemed to stall all night. Reed trying to get his team. He's had a big night running the football. Man in motion. Looking to throw. He's in trouble. Sets up the screen. There it is, wide open. And there's Hartfield racing. Touchdown, Lincoln County. 14 yards, beautifully designed play. They haven't run it all night long, and boy, did the defensive end came flying in. They set it up perfectly.
Yeah,
watch this.
They make this one count. They do not waste a great play here. Hartfield simply outruns the defender to get in the end zone. And now
the all-important PAT, the Georgia Military College Kicks for College. Let's see if they can get it done. It is William Leroy. Leroy's kick is up, and the kick is good. So we are tied at 14. Well, we had 4 overtimes last week, Matt.
You sure did. Longest one of the year, I believe, so far. Four overtimes last week, and that one was kind of quiet until it got to overtime.
All right, we'll take a quick break. The Red Devils have tied it up 14 apiece. Back with more in a moment. And we are back here in Lincoln, Georgia, where the Red Devils have just tied it in a matchup of two storied programs. Oh, and this ball rolls free, and the return man is going to be down inside the 5. All night it's been Lincoln County making mistakes on kicks. That one goes to Washington-Wilkes, though.
And that one potentially would have been the longest onside kick I've seen that they would have recovered right there, just expecting the ball to go out of bounds. But
well, sophomore DeAndre Lester with a big mistake there.
Yeah.
And Lincoln County's defense has been outstanding since the first drive. The problem for Washington-Wilkes now, if you don't get a first down or two, Lincoln County is going to get great field position unless they don't field the punt again.
Which you would expect them not to, because they haven't yet. So big possession here for the Tigers. A game that not many people felt like was going to be close is very close. And Hogan is stopped at about the 7 or 8. Pickup of about 2 or 3. And for both teams, really, I mean, decent amount of time on the clock, on the scoreboard, in order that you could maybe make something big happen again to try to run the ball and just
at least get some first downs to give yourself some room here.
Sure. But at some point, you are going to have to start throwing the ball.
Well, their workhorse running the football has been Hogan, and he's limping off the field. That is big as well. Lincoln County converted a huge 4th down. Questionable spot. The refs obviously had a better vantage point than us. They also benefited from a face mask call that was not made. They got some breaks on that drive. But look, all night long they've been moving it up and down the field. 4:32 to go. Colors has Brock in motion. A new back is in. They give it to him, and he has nowhere to go.
Yeah,
red jerseys everywhere.
Started off running into his own player. Again, you're that close to your goal line. The Red Devils are going to eat you alive if you start doing stuff like that.
And watch the red jerseys just attack here. You got 1, 2. Here comes 3.
And to give some
4.
kudos there to 52 from Lincoln County, actually pushing the Washington-Wilkes player, Trevon Leverett. A great defensive play of not necessarily making the tackle, but getting the pressure to push the offensive lineman into the ball carrier.
3rd down and 9. A first down would go a long way here.
But an errant pass and an interception could easily spell points for Lincoln County, which could prove to be the game winner.
Colors is going to keep it, trying to get to the outside, and he's going nowhere.
And a very smart play call there. Again, they haven't fielded a punt all night. Make them surprise you by fielding one before you try to throw the ball and make a mistake and cost yourself the game potentially.
And now they've got to punt it away. And back deep is Elam, Tadarius Elam, number 27. He's averaging 47.5 yards a punt.
And Nathan Edwards pointing out how far back he is.
And again, Lincoln County does not appear to be coming after the punt. They almost got there anyway. And again, it hits the ground and takes a pretty good bounce. So it's still great field position for Lincoln County, but it could have been a lot worse for Washington-Wilkes. Let's go down to the sidelines for another Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
You know, Coach Banks said that Lincoln County would have to run the ball in the second half, and they certainly are doing that. Ball game is tied with about 2.5 to go. The Red Devil defense is also sticking up, and I'll tell you what, there's so much noise in Larry Campbell Stadium right now, I bet you they can hear it in downtown Augusta. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Some Lincoln County fans in the background enjoying their
just a nice Friday out. Yeah, this is the place to be on Friday nights now.
You've got that matching cover for your phone, right?
I do. I was shocked to find out that anybody else had one.
Right up the middle goes Hartfield. So Hartfield with another nice run. The kid has run hard all night long. Hogan as well on the other side. Robinson leading the way blocking. So Lincoln County with the ball. They've trailed almost the entire game since about the 4th or 5th play from scrimmage until they tied it up a moment ago. And then bobbled in the backfield. Reed is going to keep it and try to make something out of nothing, and he's actually going to
really get lucky and not have a turnover and get out of bounds. A great play there of making nothing.
Picked up a yard or two.
I mean, yeah, 1 or 2 yards, but most importantly, getting out of bounds and not turning the ball over.
Well, we talk about Lincoln County having moved the ball all game and not been able to score, but they've also almost had some disasters. That's the 2nd or 3rd time they fumbled it in the backfield and were able to keep the football. So 3rd down now.
Again, 2 minutes, but for a couple of teams that really like to run the ball, it's a long way to go with only 2 minutes.
3rd and 5. We'll see if they let Reed try to make a play or they give it to the running back, Hartfield. Hartfield trying to get to the corner. Oh, and a great play by Hunter Brock getting him from behind.
A great tackle. It looked like he was going to be able to get the corner, but Brock doing a great job of wrapping on to his leg and bringing him down. As you see him getting a late start, Brock was, but sold out, dove forward, put his helmet on his lower back, and got the great tackle.
Heck of a play by Hunter Brock, who's played a great game defensively. He's also our scholar of the game. Minute 27 to go. It's 4th down for the Red Devils. And they're going to punt it away here. See if they can pin Washington-Wilkes back. And the ball does take a pretty good Lincoln County bounce. And the Red Devils will down it deep in Washington-Wilkes territory. So the Tigers will have the football. We'll take a break. 1:03 to go in the ball game, or at least in regulation. Washington-Wilkes and Lincoln County are tied at 14. All right, we're back. There's the Lincoln County fans. And actually, they've been joined by some Washington-Wilkes Tigers as well. Everybody wanting to get on camera. 1:03 to go. Washington-Wilkes has the ball, but they're pinned back deep in their own territory. Let's see what happens here. Tellers with the ball. And fakes the handoff. He's looking deep. Tellers, they haven't done it all night. And it's underthrown, and it is intercepted. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness. Maybe the play of the year. What a individual play.
For both teams that spent the majority of the day running the ball, that was a great throw and a great 50-50 battle.
Gartrell just made a play.
Yeah, just made an incredible play, a great throw. And the receiver did a great job of getting to the ball and just
the ball never hit the ground. It laid on the defender or the receiver momentarily. And it's an interception. And just like that, Lincoln County's got new life in regulation. 53.5 seconds to go. And they've got all their timeouts. Looked like we were definitely headed to overtime. They faked the little wide receiver screen and threw a pass, and the officials are saying incomplete. So incomplete pass, stops the clock with 48 seconds. So Lincoln County on the great individual play. Man, what an interception by Gartrell. Let's see if they can make it count. They're trying to not go to overtime. Ball at the 46, 2nd and 10. Reed, he's looking deep. Reed's throwing. He's got a man down there, but it's almost an incredible catch. That is Madarius Roberts. And the defender was there but didn't make a play on the ball, and Roberts almost had it.
Really should have made the catch. A terrific throw. It looked like it was going to be overthrown, but
right in his hands. Right. I think he was surprised that the defender didn't do anything. Unreal. That would have been a heartbreaking way for Washington-Wilkes to lose, but although they would have had about 40 seconds left to maybe do something. So here are the Red Devils on 3rd and 10. With all 3 timeouts, I'm surprised they didn't run one of the first couple of plays. Now they're in a definite passing down.
Yeah.
or either let Reed scramble.
And you can't throw a screen. You have to
Reed looking. Reed, he's got great wheels, but he's going to throw it. And it's incomplete, 4th down. So they have let that opportunity slip away after the big interception. Their defense is playing so good. If it were not 4th and 10 and maybe 4th and 4, I could see them going for it here. Although earlier on 4th and 8, they did not. So they're going to punt it away again, and we've got another classic in this series that is so close over the years. So another punt from Martin, who's come on. Nobody figured this game was going to be this tight. A lot of folks thought Lincoln County had a big advantage this year, but give Washington-Wilkes a ton of credit as the fair catch was made at the 15. So Washington-Wilkes, fair catch made that time by Terrell Turner, a sophomore. We could be headed for overtime for the 2nd straight week. Lincoln tie under their belt, but this is a region game. Lincoln County came in at 2-1-1 on the year, while Washington-Wilkes had struggled 0-4. However, they have played both teams have played a pretty tough schedule. Class A football here in Lincolnton. 26 seconds. They hand it off. I think Hogan's back in there, and he's going nowhere. And Washington-Wilkes, I think, is going to be pretty content to run the clock here and just go to overtime. And they are. They're letting the clock run. And we are headed for the 2nd straight week, headed to some free football here with overtime. Last week it was 14-7 with about 3 minutes left in the game. And it ended up 41-38 after 4 overtimes. So we'll take a timeout here. We're headed to overtime in Lincolnton where it's 14-14. And welcome back here. There you see Washington-Wilkes trying to get some last-minute instructions from the coaches as we prepare for overtime. I don't think anybody saw this one coming. The Red Devils, a traditional power of Washington-Wilkes, struggling this year at 0-4, but they came in and played an inspired football game tonight. They deserve to be where they are in a dogfight trying to win an overtime game here against their arch rivals. And we are headed to OT. Trying to get clarification on the overtime rules here in Georgia and South Carolina, of course. Last week, both teams got the ball after 10. Had the opportunity to score. Let's head down to the field. Here is Pete Mitchenfelder. Pete?
All right, talking about overtime, playing overtime here in 2. But, boy, this has been a one jam-up game. But could be a lot more football coming our way. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. Appreciate it. Pete Mitchenfelder. Lincoln County, yardage-wise, has dominated this game. But Washington-Wilkes, those kids have played their hearts out tonight. You hate to see either team lose. They played so well. The captains are out at the center of the field.
All right,
We've got
Tony,
our
come
second,
in here close, all right? Okay, guys.
second Academy Sports
All right,
coin
here's
toss of the
the
night.
deal, all right? I'd like to congratulate a great ball game. Great ball game. Okay, overtime, we're going to have one coin toss. Okay, the winner of the first coin toss will have his option of offense or defense, or he can take the end of the field he wants. Okay, then after that, we will just rotate it, okay? Y'all got any questions about that? And, okay, all right, White, you the vision team, you're going to call a toss for me, okay? If I drop it, we'll toss it again, all right? What you want to call?
Tail.
He called tail? Okay, I believe that is head. Yes. Y'all going on defense. Okay, which end of the field y'all want to play on, Coach? Go on this end down here? Okay. 15 going in. Pardon? 15, that's right, so my bad. 15 going in. You can make a first down. Okay, if the defense gets the football, it's dead. Okay, you can't run it back, all right? Okay? That's right, yeah. And then the other team will get on. All right, good luck to you guys.
Good job, man.
Good luck.
Very important coin toss here. Most coaches would like to have the ball second in this spot. Last week, North Augusta over Strawn Thurman in 4 overtimes. In South Carolina, each team gets the ball at the 10. Thanks to the radio crew from Washington-Wilkes, we're being told both teams will get it at the 15 here. Defenses cannot advance the ball just like in South Carolina from last week. So if a turnover happens, it stops right there. And if need be, they'll switch sides of the ball. Last week, we only had each team scored 2 touchdowns in regulation, just like tonight. It was 14-14. That game ended up 41-38 in 4 overtimes. I got a feeling this one might not be as high scoring.
We'll see.
Good keen insight there from Matt Lane.
Well, in this how it usually works out, teams that are just kind of run-based, and it seems like they struggle to get touchdowns. You get into overtime, and then they just start scoring like crazy. Because I just feel like that's what's about to happen.
Well, we'll see. Let's check this out. Washington-Wilkes has it first. At the 15-yard line. They hand it off to Hogan. Hogan, he's been stuffed the entire second half, and here he goes for about 6. So Hogan, who has been shut down really since that first drive, all of a sudden goes for 6 yards. Good blocking on that left side, and then they had 2 linemen that they pulled, a little pull blocking, and then they had the fullback Hunter Brock in there as well. So good blocking by Washington-Wilkes on that play. Well, the Red Devil defense has been so good. And here's Hogan this time. Great job. Boy, I tell you, Robinson, Jayden Robinson, number 9 in red, has played a heck of a game tonight.
You get the young linebacker for the Red Devils, going to be a terrific player for them for years to come. Really explosive. Been banged up a little bit throughout the game, but has figured out a way to get back in there. And Hogan as well. A lot of the skill players for both sides have been banged up at times, but been able to get back out there.
There we go. Washington-Wilkes with the football. Two big boys in the backfield as lead blockers. We'll see what they do. They're probably going to Hogan, you would assume. And they're going to roll out the throw. Colors being pressured. Colors is brought down. Huge play made that time by number 25 for the Red Devils. That is Williams, Antonio Williams with the sack. That is a big, big play.
Looked like they were setting up the play that they wanted, just wasn't able to do anything with the pressure coming off the edge in time to get the ball to a receiver. Big play there for the Red Devils. Yeah, looks like Washington-Wilkes is going to call a timeout here. Napleton Infinity timeout. Think things over. Big down for them here. I believe it is 4th down and about 15.
Yeah, long way to go here.
Long way to go.
A Napleton Infinity timeout on the field, and boy, what a game these two rivals have put on tonight. It's been well played, too. Clean football game. Not a lot of penalties.
Right.
Not a lot of unsportsmanlike type stuff.
Not a ton of mistakes. We did have the rare double fumble on one run, but since then, pretty clean football game. And both teams running back out on the field here.
They're going to try to kick it. Number 54 will do the honors. Alalde. So Alalde to kick it. Let's see. And it's going to be no good.
And he looked like he tried to kick it a little too hard there.
So the kick is no good, and Lincoln County will get the ball at the 15. Now, I don't think they have enough confidence in their kicking game to kick it right away. That would be a 32, 33-yarder, so they're probably going to run it. So the Red Devils will get it at the 15. They score, it's over. If they don't, we're headed to overtime number 2. That would be 6 in 2 weeks for us, Matt. You only have 2. You're a slacker.
Yeah, it'd be my first 2 in a while.
Lincoln County trying to improve to 3-1-1.
4 for y'all last weekend. Again, long weekend for y'all, so long weekend for me.
So the Red Devils with it. Reed and Hartfield in the backfield.
And you almost wonder how much on Hartfield they're going to lean on against such a dynamite runner, but Reed really with the game-breaking speed if they're able to get him to bite on the fake.
And they finally got it to the speed guy, 24. We said they've been trying to get it to him all game. That is Wright. And Quinn Wright goes along the right side for a nice pickup.
See the
They've been
replay
trying
here?
to get it to him tonight.
Yeah, they had a mistake earlier in the game. They had that play called, but it ended up having a penalty on the play.
So Reed at quarterback, he's had a terrific game. Man in motion, going to fake it to him. Reed keeps it right up the middle, and he's inside the 10 to about the 9.
Great job from Washington-Wilkes there not to bite on that fake to the outside and staying at home because Reed's such a great-looking runner.
It's 3rd down and about 4.
But you saw a host of Tigers there to make that tackle.
Yeah, they didn't bite on that fake at all. So he faked it to Gartrell. So 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 9. Game hanging on in the balance on this one right here. If Lincoln County scores, we're going home. If not, more football. Hartfield fighting for yardage and kind of dangerous here. Got hit low and was able to bounce forward still somehow for a couple of yards.
Let's say got tackled
4th
on that
and 2.
right leg.
So Matt Lane, they're going to bring on the kicking unit, it looks like. So no point in asking you for the one call, that's all. Coach Banks has made the decision.
You could ask me, is it going to go in?
What would you do?
Is this going to go in?
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'd make the kick. All right, is it going in, Matt Lane?
I think he's going to make it.
All right, here we go. It would be our 2nd clutch field goal to win a game this year. Let's see it. The kick is up. The kick is right down the middle. Lincoln County is going home with a win. They get it done tonight. William Leroy, the game-winning kick in overtime. Lincoln County wins it 17-14 in the 79th battle between Lincoln County and Washington-Wilkes. The Highway 378 war. The Red Devils now lead the series 38-35 with 6 ties. Hard-fought game in Washington-Wilkes. Those kids played their guts out tonight, but the Red Devils end up prevailing in overtime.
Yeah, set the tone early. Washington-Wilkes really kind of dictating where the game was going for the longest time. But for the 2nd time this year, game ends on a clutch field goal to put a team over the top.
And we're in just a moment going to introduce you to our offensive and defensive players of the game. And the 2 coaches talking there, or actually, there's Coach, some of the assistant coaches with Coach Kelly. And the 2 teams shaking hands. And they look, nobody, I mean, Washington-Wilkes, you feel bad for those kids. They played well enough to get a win. And let's see this real quick. Watch the reaction from William Leroy as he knocks through the game winner. Thrill of a lifetime. He'll remember it his entire life. And Reed, the quarterback, gave him a big hug as well. William Leroy. His name will go down in the history of this series with that game winner. Good job by the crew there. And we'll be hearing from the victorious coach and our McDonald's offensive and defensive players of the game in just a moment. Lincoln County again improves to 3-1-1, while Washington-Wilkes drops to 0-5. But I tell you, that's not an 0-5 football team.
Some incredible numbers from Nathan Edwards here for Hartfield. Running back for Lincoln County, 29 attempts for 117 hard-fought yards.
And there you see Coach Banks, the Augusta Chronicle's Scott Michaud. And there you see the aftermath of this overtime ball game. And I believe we're just about set to head down to the field here in just a moment. Not quite. And we've got our, and I think Pete's got the coach. Pete?
Halftime. You were a little upset. You knew your boys had to do something. You said you had to run the ball. You were successful.
Yes, sir. And we ran a little bit in the first half, but we couldn't score. So we went into halftime and made some adjustments. But, man, you got to give Washington-Wilkes a lot of credit. That's not an 0-4 football team over there. They had them ready to play, and job is well.
Give me a couple names of some of your players who were outstanding, especially second half.
We're going to start off with the field goal kick. He went in there, he missed one earlier, but he came back. You got to take your hats off to number 5. Number 5 was going to play. He didn't play. And, man, he came out and he get hurt, and he go back out and he get hurt. And you got to take your hats off to they did.
All right, there you go. And I think we lost the audio there. We apologize for that. Coach Banks obviously excited for his team, and as Lincoln County gets the big win tonight. So congrats to them. Coach Banks now in his tenure after taking over for Larry Campbell, not too bad, 19-7 with 1 tie.
Yeah, right there. I mean, I like how he, first and foremost, let's talk about the field goal kicker missing one earlier and then coming back to win it. Again, for the field goal kicker, struggles at times, but able to come back when it really matters and win a game. That can do so much. Not only is it a great moment for you, but through the rest of the season, you can have confidence in yourself that you can go out and do it because you have already done it.
Well, and then also I like that he gave Washington-Wilkes credit. He realized this is. I gotta admit, I did not expect Washington-Wilkes to play this well. I'll admit it, I did not. They look like a different team than the one we saw last year. So let's go down to the field now. I believe we are all set for some awards to be handed out. Pete.
All right, we are with Miranda again from McDonald's, who is going to introduce us to the offensive and defensive players of the game. Miranda, who is our offensive player of the game?
Javon. Congratulations, buddy.
Javon, great game tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
What was the key of the game?
Rushing yards. We were just pushing the ball. We really wasn't planning on throwing the ball like that. We wanted to run it down there and throw, and that's exactly what we did. Even though we didn't capitalize sometimes, it came out with a win, so we did pretty good.
Congratulations again, offensive player of the night. Defensive player, Miranda.
Jayden, congratulations, Jayden.
Thank you so much. Great job, guys.
Quite a game. Did it live up to your expectations?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How so?
Well, it was just staying together as a team. We came out in the first half, we were down by 7 points. We had to come back as a team to stop them. If not, they're going to keep scoring. And we want none of them to stay together as a team.
Nice place to be out here in the center of the field after a big win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, congratulations. Miranda, appreciate McDonald being part of this high school football gig we got going here. Great night, great game, and we really appreciate McDonald's being part of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Pete. Congratulations. We could have easily given that to Quay Hartfield. He played great, 117 yards. Javon Reed, 150 yards on the ground, and great game from Jayden Robinson on defense and that entire defensive crew from Lincoln County. Again, credit Washington-Wilkes. Those kids came in here and played their hearts out and hated to see them lose it that way, but Lincoln County does get the victory tonight by a final count of 17-14. We want to thank the folks in Lincoln County for being so hospitable, the crew from Washington-Wilkes as well. And, of course, we thank all of you for watching. If you missed any of the game and want to see the rebroadcast, you can catch it Sunday at noon on WJBF News Channel 6. So for Matt Lane, Nathan Edwards, and a great job also down on the field from Pete Metchenfelder, Scott Elledge, and the entire WJBF crew. Phenomenal shots and highlights tonight and replays. We appreciate their hard work. We'll see you guys next time on another edition of WJBF Game Night Live.